Good evening and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lynn and I am a second year student at the University of Guelph living on campus in the East Village residence. Today is my food video talking about where I get my meals on campus at Guelph during this pandemic and where I got them before and what you can expect when you come back after the pandemic, hopefully. So first, some background information on me. Last year I lived in South Residence Maritime, which doesn't make any sense to anyone who doesn't go to Guelph. But basically I had a single room, I had a mini fridge in my room, but no access to a kitchen. I had a sink to wash dishes, and the university provided microwaves. And so last year I was also vegetarian, and obviously we were not in a pandemic. This year I'm not vegetarian because it is very difficult now to get all of my needed calories and nutrients while trying to eat on a budget and mostly on campus. So as a first year student living in South, there was two main dining halls that I ate in very often because I didn't have to leave my building to go and eat there. So I lived in Maritime, which is part of the South Residence complex, but Mountain and Prairie Hall both have their own cafeterias. And that's where I would get all of my meals, basically. And the way that University of Guelph sets up their food is sort of interesting. I haven't really seen this at a lot of universities, but they have like named chains, and then lots of locations where you can find those chains. So for example, Postabilities is one of the places I ate a lot as a first year student. And basically it's like a pasta bar, and you can tell the person helping behind the counter, hey, I want some mac and cheese, and then you hand them a bowl of toppings to go on your pasta. So I would choose like broccoli, you could choose bacon if you wanted. I didn't. Lots of stuff like that. And then they make the pasta right in front of you, hand you a bowl, and you go and check out at the counter. You pay for anything that's on your plate. So you're not paying a fee to go in the door and then that's what it costs to eat that day. No, it's if you're buying a banana, it's 88 cents. If you're buying a full meal, it might be $12 to $15. And I did have the minimum meal plan. It was basically $2,000 split between basic dollars and flex dollars, and that was more than enough for me. I did have a lot of money roll over, but that was the very least that I could pay for a meal plan at Guelph. So anyway, getting back on track, I could eat at Postabilities in Mountain Hall, or I could go to the LA Pit in North Campus and also get Postabilities there. The same food, just in a different location. And every location that you could get food on campus at Guelph had a different combination of those chains that they've set up. In addition to the university-sponsored chains, they also have like Pizza, there's KFC, lots of things like that that are just like they have an agreement on campus, especially Tim Hortons. There are many places where you can get Tim Hortons donuts, coffee, and muffins on campus. Even inside of your academic buildings, there's little coffee kiosks. But yeah, that's how the food system is set up at Guelph. So you pay a la carte. There's lots of different locations where you can get the same food, but a different combination of options. So as a first year living in South, expect to eat a lot in Mountain and Prairie because you won't even have to leave the building to get that food. And then you can also expect to eat in the UC or Krillman or the Bull Ring. Those are some really common places that I ate as a person living in South. But then if you lived in North, you might have a completely different experience. And now as I live in East Village, I have a whole nother experience on top of that, especially because there is a pandemic going on right now. So because of the pandemic, a lot of Guelph's on-campus food options have been closed for the year. It does take a lot of staff to run those places, and if there's no one living in South, which there isn't this year, there's no reason to have the dining halls open in South. Although anyone can eat in them, there's not going to be a lot of traffic because no one lives there. So this school year started off with the UC, the University Center, was open, as well as the Bull Ring, which is technically an off-campus dining option, but it's like right in the center of campus, so I consider it on campus. And then I think that, yeah, North Campus, the LA Pit, was open. And those were like the 3 places you could really get food. Besides that, there was Starbucks open in a couple places. The booster juices were sadly all closed. We have a booster juice in our athletic center and everyone was devastated. But anyway, in the beginning of the semester, you could eat at the UC, the Bull Ring, or North Campus LA Pit. Later in the semester, they closed the LA Pit and they closed the University Center because there shouldn't be a lot of traffic in those areas during the pandemic. People live in North, but they didn't want to attract East Village residents to North Campus and cause cross-contamination in that way. And then in the University Center, no one should be there. No one's in the offices. There's no reason to be in the UC right now. So they closed both of those locations and opened Creelman Hall, which is a very central location to North and East, but quite a far walk from South. And it's considered sort of the fancy dining option on campus. So once again, Creelman did have lots of different chains open, and in Creelman specifically, they have the Grill House, where you can get like a lot of fair food, like fried food, burgers, the infamous spicy fries. And then they had Mom's Kitchen, which is where I eat out of a lot, and especially as a vegetarian, I ate there a lot. They often offer vegetarian options. They do not have a pasta abilities, but there is a pasta place in Creelman, as well as, I don't know the names of them, but there's like a panini place, like a nachos and tacos place, one for pizza, and like you can get calzones there as well. And then Mongolian Grill, which is a cool one. You load up a bowl full of like noodles and vegetables and the sauces you want. You take it to the person working behind the counter, tell them what meat you want on it. They also have lots of vegetarian options like soy beef or soy chicken. Sometimes I would just get it without any protein option at all. They let you do that. And then they cook it on this big round flat top. Really cool. And then there's also in the center of Creelman, it's like a dessert place. You can get waffles, crepes, pre-made cheesecake. I think you can also get coffee. And then there's the salad bar connected to that. So there's lots of options, even though it's just one dining hall. And every single day, Mom's Kitchen gets a new entree or a new set of entrees, and you can keep up with the entrees on the University of Guelph hospitality Facebook page. I'm not sure. I just go in and get whatever I want, but basically that's how it works. There's a lot of options in Creelman right now, and it's really exciting that I can go every day and not feel like I'm just getting the same sandwich every day or something like that. It's like a lot of cool dishes, like things I couldn't even make myself, which is nice. And right now you cannot eat inside of Creelman, so they're not offering like just the dine-in plates, but on a normal non-pandemic year you could choose whether you wanted takeout or eat in, and they would give you either a ceramic plate or the takeout box options. And the takeout box options are a compostable clamshell. It's made out of a compostable paper, recycled substance. Or you can get one of the green containers, which is what I always do. Even though they're compostable, I don't really like using single-use products. And you just pay $5 for this little card that every time you go in, if you have the card, you give it to the person at checkout, and that tells them that you've already paid for the container. If you don't have the card, it's $5. So don't lose your card and don't lose your containers. But you can exchange a dirty container for a card. You go in, you get your food in the container, in a new container, and then at checkout you give them the card because you have the container. In addition to the hot and ready foods, they also have a few prepackaged like sushi things or prepackaged wraps that are cold, and then they also have a cooler full of drinks and a little display case of candy, which is always nice on after an exam or something. So that's basically where I'm eating on campus now. During the pandemic, I eat in Creelman. Every lunch, I'm basically eating in Creelman, and every breakfast and dinner I'm making for myself, because if you saw my tour video, you would know I have a kitchen in East Village. So for breakfast every day, I usually have some oatmeal or a bagel, something like that, and some tea. And then for dinner, I try and make some more extravagant meals, trying to learn to cook a little better with my very minimal knowledge. Where do I get all of the food for my groceries? There's several options. So if I did still have flex dollars, which I don't anymore, I spent them all, I would use those flex dollars to buy things at the East Side Variety, like grocery store and cafe. So they have lots of things, lots of little things, like if you need sugar or brownie mix or milk and eggs, they have that, but they don't have a lot of the special things. Every once in a while they have some good fresh vegetables, which I loved getting when I had flex dollars, but I don't purchase anymore because I don't go to East Sides anymore. And East Sides is a little bit expensive. If you're looking at the price of 6 eggs, $2.59, versus what you could get at a regular grocery store, it does seem a little bit manipulative, in my opinion, from the university to hike up the prices in the convenience store, because that is where you want to spend your money. That's where you want to use your meal plan. You bought it, you want to use all of it. So that was a little frustrating, in my opinion, that things just cost more, but I bought them anyways because I had to use my flex dollars. So now that I'm out of flex dollars, I go to several grocery stores in Guelph. Because it is a college town, there's lots of grocery stores really close by. And the one that I would say that I go to the most is No Frills. It's like right on Gordon Street. It's right off Gordon Street, which is the road that the university is on. And so it's very easy to get to by bus. I used to take the 99 southbound, and it was like a 2-3 minute bus ride to get to No Frills. So that's where I went all the time. And No Frills is cheap, as you probably know if you are Canadian. And in that little complex that No Frills is in, there's also Buffalo Wild Wings and Cora's Mexican Grill and Barbarito, which are 3 places that you can spend your flex dollars, if you had any, to get other off-campus meals. Another very accessible place by bus is the Stone Road Walmart and the Stone Road Metro. That's the street that goes the other way that the university is on. So I would take, I think, the 15, the 17, the 59U. Those were all buses that went directly to Walmart. I used to go there often with my friends. And then Metro, right next to Walmart, just like across the parking lot, there's the Metro. They do have student days, discount days where you can get, I think it's 10% off or maybe tax-free as a student, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then as you're moving a little bit farther from the university, I would go to Bulk Barn, especially now since I can cook. I need a lot of like raw ingredients, not just like ready foods to eat. And so I go to Bulk Barn, which is a place where you can get like bulk flour. You can just like scoop into your container, and then I get my tea from there for my breakfast, my oatmeal, stuff like that. And they also do have a discount day. I think it's Wednesday, 10% off for students. So a lot of the really close by grocery stores have discount days, which you can take advantage of, as well as the flyers, the coupon flyers. I just started doing that recently. And it's really helpful if you're trying to reduce your spending on food. Then as you move in the other direction, there's lots of other places to go and go grocery shopping if you want to travel more. By bus, I used to take the number 11, I think it was, to the Food Basics on Silver Creek, and there's also a Giant Tiger and another no frills, like a bigger no frills on Silver Creek, and that was probably a half an hour bus ride, kind of long for Groceries, but if that's where you go, that's where you go, you know. Today I went to Food Basics to get the best deals on like fresh fruit that I get. I eat a lot of fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, because I do try and reduce my packaging. That's why I go to Bulk Barn, use my own packaging. There's just a multitude of options, especially if you have a car on campus. There is basically no limit to where you could get food. So to recap, in a normal year, there's maybe 11 or 12 on-campus dining options with lots of vegetarian, vegan, gluten-free options as well that you can access on campus at Guelph, and many off-campus places that you can spend your flex dollars. I'll link the off-campus partners list down below so that you can check all of those out. And then this year during the pandemic, right now only Creelman and the Bullring are open, as well as the North Campus Starbucks. But it is more than enough options to go to Creelman every single day for at least one of your meals. And if this happens to be the case next year, I would not be deterred by the fact that only one of our on-campus options is open. There's still a lot of variety that you can have, and probably you could still be vegetarian or vegan. I just choose the easier method of eating whatever I want this year. But yeah, I think that's about it from me. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you come back for more in the future, and that you watch my last video, my room tour of the East Village residence townhouses. So thank you for watching. See you later.